Maligayang araw ng kalayaan sa madlang bayan ng Pilipinas.
Yeah, happy
At
Independence Day.
Sana hindi kayo nakakulong habang narinig nito. Sana nakalaya kayo at hindi kayo pinakulong.
Oo, marami na yatang lumalaya naman
Wala. Yung I'm referring to someone, Secretary De Lima, Senator De Lima. Hindi pa nakalaya si Senator De Lima. But hopefully, next year.
Okay.
I really don't know why she's in jail. I really don't know. Kasi lumalabas sa Anton, in my Facebook memories, di ba? Tapos may app, yung Time Hop. Around, how long ago? 7, 8 years ago? Ang pinag-uusapan si Senator Revilla, Senator Estrada, at Senator Enrile. Dahil sila ay lalapapasta sa kulungan. Di ba? May ebidensya doon di ba? And then nothing happened. So I don't know, man. This country is crazy.
Di ba, so, 2022 na, malapit na.
Ayun nga, so tignan natin kung meron talaga tayong pagbabago, meron talagang pag-asa. Kasi ito yung election na sinasabi natin, di ba? Sana may totoong pagbabago. Di ba? Kaya nga nahalal si Pangulong Duterte, kala ng tao magkaroon ka ng pagbabago. May pagbabago nga, pero yung pagbabago parang 180. Pagbabago or bumalik sa panahon ni Marcos. Ako, yun ang pananaw ko, di ba? But,
okay.
tignan natin. Yun ang, we keep talking about that we need to see real change, diba? Kasi marami nagsasabi, hindi naman natutuwa sa nangyayari. Na-vaccinate ka na, diba? Diba?
First
shot. Pero ang dami rin kasi ang bagal din ng pass ng vaccine na parang kanina nanonood ng basketball sa Denver, no? Natalo yung Denver Nuggets sa Phoenix Suns. So they're in a deep 0-3 hole. But here's the thing that struck me kanina. You know how many people are in attendance in Denver for Game 3? 18,000. 90% of the capacity of the stadium. And they're very strict. So that means 18,000 people who watch have already been vaccinated. Fully vaxxed. Diba? So, grabe. I'm just blown away by what's happening. So kasi diba last year parang napaka-hopeless. This time last year, kabubukasan ng mga restaurants, middle of June 12. Parang pinag-usapan natin to.
Yes, June 12.
We were feeling a bit optimistic, but at the same time, there was still, wala pang light at the end of the tunnel last year, a year ago. Diba? Nagbubukas yung restaurants, pero tayo sa restaurants, pero hindi natin alam kung ano mangyari. Sinong lalabas ba yung mga tao? Magkakahawahan ba? Ang maganda nangyari, lumabas yung mga tao, mas maganda nangyari, hindi nagkaroon ng hawahan sa restaurant. Yun ang nangyari. And now, we're a bit more optimistic, you know, and looking at what's happening in the States. Alam mo ba yung nangyari this past weekend or what's happening this week? They're opening movie theaters in the States. Of course, with social distancing, and you watch the movie, naka-mask ka pa rin. I think bawal kumain ng popcorn, bawal.
Naka-mask ka rin.
You know the biggest movie now? Have you seen it?
What?
It's on HBO from your favorite guy, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Of course. Yun pala pinanood namin kahapon. In the Heights.
In the Heights? How was it? I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. Siyempre, pinanood mo na yun. Favorite mo si Hamilton.
Sabi ng pinanood ko with our kids Sabi nga nila parang pareho ng ng beat na Lin-Manuel signature. So okay naman. Hindi namin actually natapos tatapusin na rin namin mamaya.
But I'm excited
to
see
maganda yung mga songs.
I'm excited kasi people are saying, especially in the States, it's a movie that perhaps is the one that can really welcome people back into the theaters. Kasi sabi, maganda sa widescreen, maganda sa TV, kung malaki yung TV mo. But it's so colorful. Everyone looks so good. It's so dynamic that you have to watch it so widescreen. Parang old school musical, di ba? It'll just blow you away. I'm sure it's great because all the reviews are saying, "Oh my God, it's great. The songs are wonderful. The acting, the actors are all fantastic." But if you watch it here on my TV, ilan ba to? 50 or something. Iba pa rin di ba? You can imagine if you're watching it in Rockwell, in Power Plant or IMAX. Oh my God, di ba? It'll blow you away kasi iba yung impact, di ba? Ikaw hindi tinapos kasi pwede mong i-pause, di ba? Pero pag tayo nasa sinihan, we'll just be blown away by the whole emotion. And that's what's gonna happen when West Side Story comes out later this year, directed by Steven Spielberg, the remake.
Wow.
Pero yeah, that's everyone saying ito na para yung magiging best picture next year, 'di ba? Yung West Side Story. Tingnan natin. Pero ako, this whole day is all about, and I guess it's very appropriate, no? Tinaymi talaga ng Netflix. It's all about Trece for me. Yung Trece is, you know, I borrowed the books. I borrowed the graphic novels. They're 7 volumes. Pinahiram ni Jeeves at ni Joko. And Jeeves and Joko of ABS-CBN News were so nice. Na extra pa rin ABS-CBN doon. Ano to? It's like a funhouse mirror of Manila. 'Di ba? Kasi yung kwento ng Trece, yung nakikita sa occult, yung ating mga haka-haka, yung mga tikbalang, white lady sa Baleta Drive, they're all here, they coexist. It's beautiful. But when you look at the animation, parang alam ko to eh. Nandun yung Meralco Building, nandun yung yung Magna Mall. Ano ba yung Magna Mall? Isa lang naman yung Magna Mall, di ba? And everything is like a funhouse mirror of where we live in. And it's really good. What I didn't know is that it would be so funny. Nakakatawa siya talaga. Yung first few minutes of the first episode, parang horror talaga. It's not for little kids. It's pretty gross, right? It's pretty violent, it's pretty gory, it's pretty violent. But it's still very Pinoy, and it's available in English, in Japanese, in Spanish, and in Filipino.
Galing,
So,
no?
kung gusto manood, ang ginagawa ko ngayon, yung first episode pinood ko Tagalog, Filipino. Yung second episode pinood ko English. Ngayon, I'm on the third episode. Siguro I'll switch between Tagalog and Filipino. Ay, Filipino and English. Kasi mas, honestly, yung lead star, si Trece, mas magaling yung English version na actress kesa sa Tagalog, ay sa Filipino. Sino ba yung, I forgot who the actress is. But she sounds lackadaisical. She sounds a bit zombie-like. Kung sino man tong Filipino version ni Trece. But yung sa US, yung English version, ang galing. Tapos ang galing ng mga artista sa US. Ano, si Darren Criss, who was very famous in Glee. And a couple of years ago, he was in the, sino ba to? Si Versace. Siya yung pumatay kay Versace, that movie. Andrew Cunanan. He played Andrew Cunanan.
Okay.
So he's probably one of the biggest Broadway and Hollywood Filipino stars right now. But it's really good. You know what I'm going to do after? I'm going to finish it. Binge talaga. Ito binge talaga. Kasi 30
Ilang
minutes lang
episodes
siya.
ba?
6
Ilang
episodes,
episodes?
30 minutes. So 3 hours. Pasok ka.
Okay. Wow.
Pwede yung panoorin
Season 1.
mamaya.
Oo nga, season 1 lang ba yan? Or
Season 1 pa lang to eh. So I'm not sure because like I said, I haven't read the graphic novels, but they're here. I'm going to read them after I watch starting tomorrow. Panoorin ko na siya. But that's why you come in with zero. Did you read the graphic novels, comics ng Trece? Nabasa mo ba?
Hindi ka.
I suggest don't. So kasi ganun naman palagi, di ba? Kung nabasa mo na, parang nobela yan, di ba? There always going to be a comparison kasi you made the movie in your mind already. Di ba? Nagawa mo na sa imagination mo yun. And whatever comes out on screen, you might be disappointed. There are very few movies that can live up to what you imagined in your mind. And when I read the very few negative nitpicks about Trece, it's all about the people who've lived the comics, who've read it again and again for so long. But if not read it, wag muna. You read it afterwards. Then you get a deeper appreciation. Mas gusto ko yun eh. Yung baligtad. Movie muna tapos or movie or series muna than the book. So you get a richer atmosphere. The world building gets deeper. But yeah, yun lang. Kung manonood sila Yugi, Anton, you have to be ready to cover their eyes. Certain scenes. There's quite a bit of sexual innuendo as well. Meron din. It's a very mature story. But it'll make you very proud. And please watch the credits. Kasi si Up Dharma Down yung kumanta ng end credits song.
Wow.
Di ba sa Netflix lumalabas yan, skip credits or move to next episode or watch credits. Choose watch credits because the song of Army is really, really good. Galing! I love it, man. I can't wait to continue and finish it all tonight. After we talk about what's happening in our country.
Oo, yan ang Independence Day movie. Yan.
Yeah, ito nga sinabi ni, di ba you just interviewed Ian Karandang of Sebastian's? Kailan yun, kahapon?
Kahapon, oo.
Nag-comment si Ian kanina, sabi niya, how come this is not in the fucking Philippines top 10? I don't know. Shouldn't it be number 1, di ba? Huwag muna kayo manood ng mga Vincenzo or ano ba yung number 1 ngayon? Awake. Awake.
Talaga? Wala
It's not in the top 10. I'm not sure whether or not it's a marketing thing or hindi pa siguro. Baka di nila alam na But
yeah. Kahapon, we had a discussion rin mga Filipino advocates. Yeah, they're so excited about it.
I think
it's a landmark. Like, it's a landmark film talaga.
Feeling ko mas marami nanood sa Amerika kaysa dito. Baka sabi ko kay Ian, baka kala ng mga DDS Japanese production kasi mukhang anime. DDS, what can you do? Sorry, not sorry. But it's so good, guys. It should be number 1. Will you please? Alam mo yung number 1 ngayon sa Netflix? This is really stupid movie. It's called Awake. Huwag niyo na panoorin yun. That's a junk movie. Awake. Yung story ng Awake, yung buong mundo hindi makatulog. The fuck is... I tried watching it kasi I was curious. Kala ko parang Bird Box ba yan kay Sandra Bullock a few years ago. I thought it'd be something like that or Quiet Place. It's just so stupid. It's so ridiculous. Don't watch Awake. It's stupid. Skip it. Fast forward nyo. Alam mo yung fast forward ng mga millennials? Fast forward sa dulo or just read the recaps. It's a dumb movie. So everyone watching, tell all your friends, your family here in the Philippines and all over the world, watch 13. It's so good. It's so Pinoy. Alam mo mangyayari si Anton pagkapanood mo ng episode 1 ng 13? Anong gusto mong kainin?
Ano?
Shock nut.
Bakit?
Shock nut plays a key role in 13.
Okay. Ano ba yan? The graphic novels are out of print or
I'm not sure. They might
can just borrow it lang. Parang there's a lot of our friends who have it, but like if you want to have it, I guess you'll borrow it, no? Tama ba?
Oh, wala yata. Wala, sarado yata yung mga... I don't think it's either out of print or out of stock. Probably both. So if you have a friend lucky enough to have a set and lucky enough to lend it to you, first volume is Baleta Drive, I think. And I'm excited to read it. Now, I'm looking at it right now. It's on my left. I can't wait. But I'll read it again after I watch it.
Anong sura? Pakita mo naman.
Andali, hanapin ko lang.
Para pakita natin. Yeah. So, we're talking with Spanky Enriquez, and this is the Manila Podcast. And have you guys watched 13 na ba? If not, now's the time. Wow.
There.
Yan.
This is volume 1. And there's, I don't want to ruin anything. Ako siguro spoiler alert ko na lang yung chalk nut.
Okay.
Pero ito yung volume 1, volume 2. And if you see here that the animation is really, and the drawings really are, you can tell it's the Philippines. Alam mo, Metro Manila, pati yung mga skyline, yung mga land. So volume 3.
So one episode, one episode, one volume.
I'm not sure. I have no idea.
You have no idea. Okay.
Yeah.
Galing
Yeah, but there's 7. Okay, there's 7 books. Seven.
Congratulations, 13.
Yes. So thank you to, and the creator is Budjatan, and Kadjo Baldissimo is the artist. Parang imagination, levels of imagination are just, I'm blown away. Galing. No, it's not derivative at all, but the imagination is so intense, and it's so surprising. Ang dami mo makikitang kalokohan, and then so many Easter eggs also. You'll love it.
All right.
Siguro tapusin mo tonight, Anton. Tapusin nyo na tonight na pamilya yung In the Heights.
Oo. Hindi, panoorin namin yan. Marami kaming we love watching with the family. So pinapanood namin ngayon, In the Heights yan, 13, Low-key every week, diba? And then Lupin yata has a second season. So.
Lupin second season debuted yesterday. I still have to catch up because I'm watching that other French show, Call My Agent. Dami kasi magandang programa sa Netflix ngayon eh. Pero
Madami. Oh, pero marami rin basura. So
yung awake, inuulit ko lang yung awake basura yun. Talagang basura yun. Naiinis ako pag nakikita ko number 1 siya sa Netflix. Okay.
Alright.
Speaking of basura,
anong
resulta ng mga survey natin kanina?
So, yung survey natin kanina, syempre, siguro hindi pa decided yung mga tao kung sino i-vote nila. Malapit na yung elections in May.
Yeah, it's 11 months away.
11 months away, and voter registration is until the end of September, no? They just reopened it again.
Hanggang end of September na lang?
Oo, sabi ni Comelec, no extension. No extension.
So that is for new voters.
New voters, of course.
So tayo na bumoto na, we don't need to register. No?
Marami yun na the young ones, na nag-18, turned 18 in the last 6 years. Wow, dami nun. That's a Gen Z. Okay. So,
in other words, sila yung magiging deciding factor, these kids.
They will be the deciding factor, certainly. But we need them to register. Kasi they will have their own point of view, and of course, they want change in the country. Yun lang. Kailangan nila lumabas, di ba?
But I don't see a strong campaign from Comelec.
Wala nga, muted lang eh. I think nag-announce lang na there's no extension.
I don't see anyone really engaging them. I think I'll take my conspiracy theory hat. I'll put it on. Kasi alam nila, ang karamihan ng registered voters ngayon are for Duterte. Right? Because of that 16. Hindi naman nagalaw yun eh. Siguro, because if you take a look at the surveys, the last survey, still had an unbelievable 91% approval rating. Which means to say, my only conclusion is, the people who voted for him, majority of them, maybe 75%, are still solidly behind him.
Yes.
And if these are the people who will vote again for Sara Duterte and Gibo Chodoro, which is now the supposed tandem, then they'll win, because the people who will not vote, who cannot vote or maybe have not registered, the kids are not registered. It's as simple as that. So that's why if you are going to be a conspiracy theorist, kaya hindi kayo nag-announce ng registration para solid na kayo. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's why this survey for me, I mean, it's a very informal survey that we did, very quick. But I'm just curious what people are thinking, diba?
So, before we lead that, yung 18 years old, just to give perspective, lahat ng magka-college. Marami tayong kilala magka-college na who turned 18.
Yung mga anak ko, lahat sila.
Anak ni Dedet, anak ni... marami yun. In the last 6 years, marami nag-graduate. Now, the question is, magre-register ba sila? And that's why nga, we really have to campaign that. And that's I've seen some voter campaigns, pero yung Comelec nga hindi. Anyway, so ito na
here's one more thing. We should talk to the parents.
Oo, the parents. Kasi ito yung mga magka-college eh.
Pero pa, Anton, dagdagan ko pa yung I will put more gasoline into the fire. Ang sabi ng IATF, ngayon kung if you have a safety pass, okay, if you are fully vaccinated and you've been fully vaccinated for at least 2 weeks, seniors are now allowed to go out. 65 and above in MGCQ and GCQ areas. I just want to clarify, Metro Manila, NCR Plus bubble is not yet in GCQ. We're still under GCQ with restrictions.
Okay.
So technically, hindi pa. But obviously, lumalabas ako nakikita ko meron ng pasulpot-sulpot And it actually makes me happy. Kung na-vaccinate ka na, all you have to do is show your vaccination card. Sana hindi mo pinagawa yung vaccination card mo sa recto.
So may kwento nga ako dyan. May kwento ako dyan. Saying mom ko, Nung una, ayaw magpa-vaccinate. Talagang takot na takot. Sabi niya, kailangan kausapin ko yung doktor ko, ganyan. So, kinausap niya yung doktor. Siyempre, all the doctors are, in-explain niya sa mom ko. No, kailangan mo yan, tita. Kasi pag nagkaano ka, added protection. So, ngayon, from the fear na totally ayaw niya, nag-aaway kami. And then, so napapunta namin vaccinate. Buti na lang Taguig has a really good vaccination kasi automated yung Taguig so hindi magulo.
Taguig has a spectacular, very efficient, very galing ng Taguig
online.
Yeah.
Hindi yung mga forms talagang online, meron kang QR code. So biglang A4 this week, 'di ba? So ang haba ng pila, sobra, ang daming sobra na fully book yung booking. So nung na-vaccinate na siya kasama yung tatay ko, talagang pag after ng first dose, parang tuwan-tuwa na. Sabi niya, makakasimba na ako after 1 month ng second dose ko. Syempre, medyo malayo pa mga 2 months from now. No? Pero, nakita mo na yung ting-ting, yung hope, di ba? Pwede na kaming lumabas.
I think, I'm really, really happy for your mom and for your dad and for all the lolas and the seniors out there. Kasi, once you're retired, what takes up a lot of your time? It's your friends, your family, and God, and hearing mass. You've taken away church for 16 months. It's almost been a year and a half. And to now be able to hear mass with confidence that unang-una, sasabi, paprotect ako ng poon. Hindi ako magkakasakit para sa Quiapo, di ba? Pero ito totoo, kasi may vaccine ka na right? And I'm so excited for your mom. I'm so excited for my mom who can, I think, by the end of next week, papayagan ko na siyang magsimba Kasi it's gonna be like almost 3 weeks after her second shot. And not only that, my mom is so excited to get her hair cut finally after
like
a year. I have never seen my mom with long hair. Ngayon ko lang siya nakita with long hair ulit. So, basically here...
Galing nga so yung mom ko, first time lumabas since lockdown last year. So talagang, in-imagine ko, anong iniisip ng mga to? Diba? Parang all the things happening in their head, the fear of vaccine, then getting vaccinated. Anyway, I'm just so happy for
please tell Tita I'm so happy for her and all our titas and our moms. Congratulations for getting your vaccines. And by the way, speaking of people we respect, hello to Senyor Ige Ramos, future governor of Cavite. Yan, the distinguished author and book designer. Ige, salamat sa pakikinig. So yun, and I'm excited kasi nga ito for me is the best development so far that seniors can be allowed to go out. Gyms are now going to be open. Of course, these are not contact gyms, so bawal yung boxing gym, di ba? So bawal yung mga ganyan. But no contact gyms are already going to be open. Obviously, still under the safest protocols, strict protocols. So we're just asking the owners or the people who manage these establishments, please do not relax. Diba? Please do not relax. Be very, very strict. More than ever now. Kasi kung lumuwag, that's where the danger starts, diba? But I would suggest also, kung ikaw ay gym operator, ikaw yung manager ng gym, payagan mo lang pumasok yung mga naka-vax na. Like in the States, diba? You can watch concerts, you can watch a stupid Logan Paul and Mayweather fake fight, right? But make sure you're vaccinated. Ganun na. And that's what we're working on also sa restaurants. Kaya ang ginagawa namin may bakuna benefits kami, yung pinag-usapan natin. Tumatakbo na siya.
Kamusta yun? How is that doing?
Maraming nag-avail. We're surprised. We've not really launched it yet in a grand way. No? We're still waiting for the TV commercials, the radio ads. But as early as now, so many people, like kausap ko si Aba sa Moment Group, sila Jackson sa Vikings, may nag-avail talaga. They really present their card. So the word is getting around. And we haven't had the power of mass media to pull people in. But Bakuna Benefits simply does is for dine-in, we now give you the confidence to dine in. And not only that, when you dine in, you get so much, like sa Vikings, pag kumain kayo, 4 kayo, yung isa libre, basta isa fully vaccinated na. Just like the birthday promo of Vikings. Then in many other restaurants, you get free iced tea, free dessert. One is giving out free beer. Basta fully vaccinated ka na. And hey, kung mag-avail kayo free beer, make sure it's at least a week after your vaccination.
Oo. Ayun
Yeah.
nga.
And it's easy to avail. Kahit one shot pa lang, pwede ka na mag-avail.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, make sure you get your vaccines, and we're very excited. Sana nga ito na yung we've crossed the most difficult part of this journey, di ba?
Oo.
And let's not revert anymore. And yeah, I'm optimistic na sana wag na mangyari. Ano lang yan, disiplina.
Yes.
Get the
Moving forward.
constant supply of Vikings. Pero alam mo, mahirap yung you mentioned A4 earlier. Ang pila ngayon dito sa A4, dito sa Manila, sa mga, kasi SM Tayuman, SM San Lazaro, SM Manila, I think, are vaccination centers. My cousin went because it's A4. There are like 2,000 vaccines, Sinovac, allocated daily for A4. Putya, 5 o'clock pa lang, nakapila na sila.
Walk in.
5 in the morning. And I mean, you have got
Wow.
your text and everything. So, that's it, no? So, sana nga, mas maging efficient. So, there should be more vaccination centers, more volunteers. Kasi all my doctor friends are not, they're free time. They are the ones taking your BP.
Nag-ano sila.
Mga specialista to. Hindi sila mga nurse, hindi sila medtech. They're like 20-year veteran doctors. And sana more people like that. And most of all, more vaccines, constant supply. Because they said we were supposed to get 4 million doses of Pfizer this month. This June, ha? Sinabi yun. What is the middle of June? I haven't seen the news that the vaccines have landed again. So if you're gonna make promises, right, make sure that they're not promises, that they're actually deliverables. These are deliverables.
Na-distribute. Yeah.
We're still very much behind this vaccination. Ang gusto natin mangyari, we should be vaccinating around, in Metro Manila, NCR, gitna, we should be vaccinating around 150,000 people a day. We're way below. Layo yun. Kasi we're looking towards herd immunity by December, di ba? Ang layo natin, we're less than half that, maybe a third, not even a third. So we've gone a long way, but a long way to go. But at least kung dapat, kung Amerika tumatakbo na sila, di ba? Tayo medyo nagbe-baby steps pa lang. Pero soon, sana it'll be faster.
That's exciting. So, by the way pala, since si Ige, you mentioned Ige, we had a really good discussion with Ige, no?
Your guests are really good. So you had Ige, then you had Ian.
No, si Ige, so ang colorful na story niya, no? Pero what got me excited, ang bagong project niya, si Maria Orosa. Alam mo ba yun?
Wow. I read somewhere.
Inventor ng banana ketchup and how she had a lot of these original recipes of Filipino cuisine. So I'm excited nga to get to know this. So ayun ang niya, yun ang project niya. I mean,
he's writing a book about Maria Rosa.
He had, she got the rights to help the book. I don't know, but of course we don't want to preempt it. But I'm just so excited kasi, like 13, all these old, mga stories are getting promoted. And then you have this, the inventor of banana ketchup, etc. And ang daming cuisines. They were recreating the old traditional cuisines made by Maria Orosa. And he's like the queen of Filipino culinaria. So, just so exciting lang. I think we're getting into an age of really appreciating our roots. And what we're trying to do is bridge also the US and the Philippines. Kasi nga, the Filipinos, the diaspora, yun rin yung napag-usapan na, diaspora. Kasi nag-merge na, di ba? Like our friend, for example, our good friend, the Lechon Diva is in Las Vegas.
Las Vegas nga siya. My God, amazing.
Opening the Pipitas Lechon stall in the newly opened Resorts World Las Vegas. So
Crazy.
wow, I mean, those are like crazy times, no? I mean, during pandemic time. So I think there's really push for new stories, new innovation, new hope. You know, and that's why I'm just excited. Alam ko marami pang, marami affected. If you look at the numbers, mataas pa rin yung cases, etc. But ang daming mga stories ng hope. Yung in-interview ko the other day si Chef Joe, the first female a female chef of the year sa World Gourmet Awards, it's a Filipina.
Tapos, hindi daw she didn't start out as a chef. Parang ganyan yung kwento niya.
So she worked in Procter & Gamble. Na-meet ko sa PNG yan eh. And then at the age of 30, talagang hinabol niya. It took her 10 years to get to head chef. But
what was her job in PNG?
Laundry brand manager.
Okay.
No, brand manager pa siya, based in Singapore. So, gusto niya into the culinary industry. She went to Culinary Institute of America and then worked in Laverna din with Chef Eric Ripper, Cafe Volute. And then went to Cafe Andre in Singapore. So, dun siya natuto. And then, tapos nag-stud siya sa Noma, Rele, tsaka Fabiken. And then bumalik siya Lola in Singapore. And then, just getting this award. And then I was asking her nga, how many Filipinos na are head chefs in Singapore? Kasi before naman wala eh. The Filipino chefs are minsan sous chef lang or, nagsastouch lang. So sabi niya siya, there was one Filipino-American head chef of Burnt Ends. And then another one, Meat Smith, Little India. So, I mean, I think it's really coming of age of the Filipino. I can feel it eh. Parang people are, at least the Filipino culture is being recognized.
You're Alice Dixon. You can feel it. Anton, let me just say this. I haven't heard you been this excited, this cheerful, this gung-ho in over a year. This is like, and this is your jam, man. You just like promote all things Filipino. Even your eyes are sparkling, man. Wow. Ano yun? Baka effect din yan ng vaccine sa'yo, pare.
Hindi, natutuwa lang ako yung mom ko kasi talagang turn around eh. From ayaw to sobrang excited.
No, I'm just, di ba parang...
That hope kasi is very important eh, I think.
Yeah, that's true.
Kahit na you would say 1% vaccination rate, pero you have that hope eh. I mean, that's a lot of things, no?
Yesterday, I had a lunch with si Marites. Marites ang ng King Chef, di ba? And she's one of those people that I really admire because she was able to survive and maybe even prosper to a certain extent, no, during the past 16 months. And all this because she was almost she anticipates things very. As a manager, ikaw galing sa PNG, ako galing ako I really had a good mentor also at Sarte. And that's what they teach us most, di ba? I think and that's why corporate life is still very important eh. Doon ka mahasa eh. And saan ka ba mahasa talaga? You will have to predict things and anticipate. A lot of people now, maybe because you don't have this mentoring that's going on. I mean, I love the fact that we've got so many entrepreneurs. But all these young entrepreneurs don't really have mentors. Mentoring is the missing link right now. So ano bang ang tinuturo sa ng mentor? Diskarte.
Mm-hmm.
Diba? So si Marites sa King Chef, ang ganyan ng diskarte kasi, and I've been working with her for 6 years, 7 years. And I remember when she started Spanx, gagawa na tayo ng Frozen. Spanx, meron na ang sariling motorsiklo. And when the pandemic hit, she was all set. So yung pivot niya to deliveries, right now she's still very strong. And now reopening the restaurants and prospering actually. It's just amazing. But you don't learn that by watching YouTube videos. You learn this by IRL, in real life, no? Real life experience. So I'm just saying that maybe one of the things the two of us should do is, and we've been planning this for a while, no? Siguro we should start mentoring people to do
Oo.
so. Diba?
Yeah.
Kasi ngayon, and here, I'm serious about this. You ask kids, no, anong gusto mong gawin? Gusto ko maging gamer. Diba? I want to go to Kumu and I just want to play games and people will send me money. I want to develop apps. But yeah, sure, that's good that you have an entrepreneurial mindset. But looking long term, what's the success rate of that? No? So looking long term, what's a really good business model that you can propagate and cultivate and actually echo? That's what you have to do. You have to build the business. It's difficult when you have just one talent kung ikaw lang eh. Diba? So dapat mas scale mo yan. Yan yung kailangan matutunan. But it's really exciting. And to hear you, and I know we've been talking a lot about this. We've actually done so many seminars together. But maybe that's the next step we should take.
Mm-hmm. No, totoo yan. Actually nga, so one time, I had this live in Kumu, no? I realized, ang daming mga younger, one of the youngest I met there, 14 years old.
Yeah.
He was, streaming, tapos kinakausap niya mga artista, ganyan. And, 14 years old, and pag tingnan mo rin yung stream na Kumu, so there's really a lot of people really, going after it. Pero tama ka, kasi minsan, they're just going after the fads. Anong mangyari, di ba? And we learned a lot over the years on you have to build sustainable business.
Anton, that's the word. That's the key word, sustainability. Like how long is Kumu going to last? How long is your TikTok channel going to last? Right?
Yes,
so there has to be something to ikaw, like you are the living example kasi you started out as a simple blog. Literally just a simple blog of you and back then Aidan going to restaurants. I mean, that's how you started, literally. But now you've built, I won't say it's an empire, but there's so many facets to what you're doing now.
Yes.
And that's an example, right? That's why you can be, like you say, someone who can be a good role model. That you can start here. We're not saying don't start, we're not saying stop Kumu, but that has to be the seed and let it grow, right?
Yes. Oh, you need to start somewhere. Like get your feet wet and then, but start thinking about how do you strategize it moving forward.
We're talking like titos, ha? Patay, mga tito na talaga tayo. No? Oh my gosh, I feel so old. Ay, nako. Anyway, here's what I just want to congratulate, shout out lang. One of the very first restaurants in the Philippines that has 100% vaccination for its employees.
SINO.
Broadside.
Congratulations.
I'm so happy. I was so proud of Malvin kasi
talaga. Tinalo niya si Eric D. 'Di ba meron silang may race yan eh. Sino mag 100% eh. Congratulations, bro.
Si Malvin as far as I know kasi when we have this in Resto PH we have the Viber group. Ang unang-una nag-announce si Malvin. Okay, so and what this means is if you go to Broadside, which is a German restaurant, authentic German restaurant, which serves a really, really good Austrian and German beer, you will feel doubly safe because everyone serving you is fully vaccinated. Which is not to say you're going to remove your shields; they're still required. All the alcohol, all the things all the sanitation protocols, they're still there. But the people serving you are fully I love it. I'm so proud. For someone who's been drinking in Broadside for years, no? Lalo na usong-uso daytime drinking. I feel so safe. Even if I get drunk there, I feel so safe. Hi Gigs. Nandito si Gigs. Hi Gigs. Si Gigs yung ang anak ng ating kaibigan ng pinaka-famous superstar home cook, si Bambi. Bambi Gourmet. Parang is showbiz yan. Yung anak at asawa ni Gigs, meron pang advertisement ngayon.
Talaga?
Hindi ko lang, ba't hindi kasama si Gigs doon? Baka baka may pinagtataguan si Gigs. Gigs, next time sige kasali ka dito.
Sige. Uusap tayo.
But yeah, say hi to your mom, man.
So, let's talk about the survey results, no? Pero before we talk about that, shout out tayo ng food kasi itong mga discussion namin ni Rach na isang araw. 'Di ba last year, kung maalala mo kung last year, ano bang hit na food, 'di ba? Mga sushi bake, 'di ba?
Around
So
this time last year, we were starting sushi bakes na.
sushi bake. So inisip
Tapos
na,
yung dalgona.
so ano ang 2021? And syempre, alam ba ano bang sino ang pinaka-hit ngayon? Oh, ito alam mo, sino ang pinaka-hit na pagkain ngayon?
I don't know. Burgers? I'm not sure.
Si Lechon Baka.
Oh,
So dyan, hanip rin to si Andox, ha?
para alam mo nag-post ako sa yung pinakasikat ko na post ever yata sa kasi I provide content for Let's Eat Pare. And when I talk to Mark about it, we're very happy kasi yung balita mo doon, dapat yung may saysay naman na balita, di ba? And I posted about Undox 3 or 4 times. The first time was when they said we have Lechon Baka. And I love the hashtag Baka naman, di ba?
Baka naman.
Yeah. Oh, so a couple of days after I saw that, I saw the list. They provided a list of because it's not available in all the outlets. Very few. Siguro half of their outlets. So you have to search for it. Like for example, people in Parañaque are complaining, how come there's not a single Undox in Parañaque that's offering Baka? So ang swerte ako, I live in Manila. There is a big Undox in Bustillos, dito sa kalagitnaan sa Sampaloc, sa Bustillos, malapit sa University Belt. I went there. Nung nagpunta ako doon, second day pa lang. So wala pang pila.
Wala pang pila. Okay.
Wala pang pila. But I could tell, like when it's not something that you just get a liempo or a piece of chicken and chop it. No, they slice it. It takes a while to prepare your order. They put it in a box with foil and vinegar. And so I bought half a kilo kasi you don't know eh. We were early adopters eh. Pero pag sakay sa kotse nung kahon, parang naamoy ko na, parang legit eh. Amoy parang yung di ba sa tayo kumakain ng lechon baka sa wedding, di ba?
Special na yan.
Sa ultimate taste test, ganoon. So when it was in the car, I had a 10-minute drive back to nangangamoy na yung kotse ko, bango ba? So yung salivate ka ng ganyan. Half kilo bitin. Half kilo is good for one person. I'll just say this now. It's good for one person because it's so good. It's so good. And it's so good that sobrang malinamnam siya. Tapos doon yung char. And that's what you want, di ba? Pag umiikot sa rotisserie yung baka, tapos may konting taba. May konting taba. That's the beauty of it. And it's beautifully marinated. You get all the umami in it. A little bit, I'm sure there's a little bit of Worcestershire sauce there. So you get that. You taste it. Hindi mo na kailangan suka eh. Masarap yung suka. It comes with suka. Ako gumapa akong gravy. I didn't need the gravy. I didn't need the vinegar. I just picked on the slices and they're small, bite-sized slices. Have you tried it? Put siya before I eat. Ubus na. Ubus yung half kilo. Hindi ako nagkanin. Oh my God. I just wish I had that ice-cold beer, man. To wash it.
Kaya ako excited talaga kasi ang daming innovation na make sense, 'di ba? Alam mo 'yon na in during this time and minsan siguro kausapin natin yung mga yan, paano ba nila naisip 'yon? Ang galing eh. I love those stories eh. I love those stories.
And then, why don't we interview Undox next week? Let's talk to them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk to them. Sige.
I'm sure they didn't realize. Remember the last time our product sold out was the buko pie of Jollibee. It just exploded, right? And I was asking our friend Kat Trevino, Kat, what the hell? It took them days because no one anticipated na this is what's happening now. I think the stock is there, but yung pila is really long queues and sold out. Yung mga dahil wala sa Pampanga, yung mga pinsan ko sa Pampanga, siguro na Pampanga yan. Nag-uutos sa Manila ng mga kamag-anak, oy, pag uwi kayo Pampanga, magdala kayo. No? And then they say, para sulat, you order 4 boxes, order 2 kilos na. So people are ordering not 1 box, not 2 boxes, they're ordering 4 boxes. And you know why? Because if you buy 4 boxes, or you think 5 boxes, guess what? They give you a free griller.
Sabi nga.
Mind blown. Genius. And you will want to buy 5 kilos. How much? It's $320 your half kilo. You buy 5 boxes, 1,600 pesos. You get a free griller. Oh, patong mo sa tabletop. Oh, mag-ihaw ka. Maglabas ka ng Johnny Walker Black. Marami. Diba?
Galing.
Yeah, let's find undocs. Let's talk to them.
Let's talk to them. Kasi it's
Whoever
Filipino innovation.
Right.
We'll reach out to them. Kasi yan nga yung mga gusto kong stories ngayon eh. Ang dami. And I realize, ang dami pala. And nagkataon lang, sabay-sabay din, di ba? I mean, si Dedet, yung mga Singapore, and ito. So, yeah, let's talk about it. O, game. Yeah. Game ka na sa survey?
One na lang advertisement. No? Yung survey, na-distract na ako sa undocs, iniisip ko na tuloy ngayon. Yeah, but we'll really make an effort to guess them next Saturday because even now, alam mo, undocs, let me just say, undocs never marketed directly to influencers. Putek, biglang nag-market sa influencers kasi they're sitting on a gold mine. You know, and and while the iron is hot, strike. Si Jerry nakatanggap, sabi, uy, nabibigay ang docs. Ang docs never gave doc.
Hindi, pero ang so I have a team, yung mga millennial team ko, di ba? Sabi nila, ano yun eh, ma-discriminating yun eh. Talagang, ano ba to? Hype lang ba to? Basta mga team. Basta, hype, alam mo anong sagot? The hype is real. So, kung na-convince mo yung mga millennial na yun, sabi ko ba, ibang klase to, ibang level yung product na to.
And then everyone is posting now. Parang mga kaibigan ko sa Philippine Star, sila Lucien, the Vice President for Marketing. Parang pati sila, lahat. Gano. And everyone's saying, parang masarap nga.
Kaya diba? Alam mo, Spanks, walang and that's why I love our Manila podcast eh. We talk about these things kasi nobody talks about it, diba? Parang, I don't know. It's kinda, these are the things we should really talk about.
Hindi kasi tayo snob. Maraming snob eh. Di ba? I'm not ako, Anton, you know this. I know this about, the thing I hate most, guys, is a food snob. Pinakayoko yan. Di ba? Yung may kaibigan ako, kinikriticize yung Edenfield cheese. Puta, gusto ko yung Edenfield cheese eh. Sinabi ba naman sa akin, hindi cheese yan? Cheese nga yan eh. Anong tawag mo dyan? Plastic? Butter? Margarine? Edenfield cheese is fucking cheese, man. Don't tell me it's not cheese. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
So yun yung mga ayokong tao.
Exactly. And kaya ako na balik tayo kay Ige Ramos, sinusulat si Maria Orosa, who invented banana ketchup. Remember, banana ketchup was frowned upon by a lot of people before.
Wait, I have a question. When was this? World War II?
Mukhang World War II nga eh. Taal, Batanga. Hindi, born 1892. Anyway, sige, i-release niya na yung book now eh.
So, I can't. Iga, I want a copy. Send me a copy, please. Because Maria Rosa is something very dear to me. Maria Rosa is one of the streets in Malate. Julio Nakpil.
Talaga?
Maria Rosa, Remedios. Pare, dyan ako lumaki. Dyan din ako nang nililigaw dati, di ba? Lahat ng girlfriend ko, tiga Malate. Yan na si Marinong Kusinero. Magandang gabi po. Nasa party ka na our loyal listener. Thank you for being here. Yeah, but I'm so curious to...
So si Maria Orosa, born 1892 and died during the war, 1945. So it's kind of interesting that period and Ige was saying a lot of the food we're enjoying now came from a lot of the recipes by Maria Orosa, and he's campaigning that he's the queen of Filipino culinary, parang ganun. So that's why it's really so interesting when we start talking about this, appreciating our roots talaga, talking about tandoks. Alam mo, yun kasi, those are our food. We need to really embrace them eh.
Kasi with all due respect to the more expensive restaurants, the reason why, again, I really promote and with a lot of love share the news about simple food because that's what we all want naman di ba? See, not everyone can go to, for example, what's highly regarded as a Philippines' best restaurant, Toyo. It's very hard to get a table with Jordy. So, mahirap yun, di ba? So, pag magkwentuhan tayo about Toyo, mahirap din Makirelate yung mga tao.
Mahirap rin
Diba?
yan.
Or if we talk about like si Chele. Si Chele ngayon, pare may masarap na sandwich, pare. Parang Cat's Deli na pastrami, New York style. It's a beautiful sandwich. But how many people can go to Uptown Mall today or eat at, or order from Deli by Chele? A few, but everyone can go to Andox. That's why I love talking about Andox. And I'm glad I can talk to you about this, diba? Because, you know, the affection that we have for what's our soul food is really very, very strong. And that's exactly what this has become. Itong, without them knowing, I don't think Andox knew this was anticipated this was going to explode. It is soul food. Yeah. Right?
Pero alam mo what's a trend kasi? Actually, it's pasok sa trend eh. You know what's a trend? Fine dining on a street stall. That's the real trend. Not, and you know, lechon baka, Andox, pipitas lechon on a stall. That's the real trend. And that's why, you know, maybe the fine dining restaurant needs to think about that, no? Kasi yun ang good value for money but really good food, diba? That accessible for everybody.
Maybe that's why Toyo is good. Sila Jordy, di ba? Ano bang di ba nauna rin kumakain sa Toyo? Ano yung mga signature items ng Jordy? Parang yung barbecue yung Pinoy, di ba? Naalala mo yun? May barbecue siyang Pinoy eh. So Toyo is still very, very Pinoy but elevated. But again, it's fine dining. But a lot of the influences of Jordy in Toyo is deeply Pinoy. That's why even his sister restaurant, yung Toyo Panaderia, is really Pinoy bread. It's not freaking croissants or sourdough. It's just pandesal. Ganun kalaking pandesal, but pandesal, di ba? So, yeah, it's a good time now to really talk about Filipino food. And maybe this is what we really should promote and propagate. Remember, Anthony Bourdain, on his last trip here, a year before he passed away, in 2017, he was here, di ba? And sabi niya, the comment that he made the lasting impression that made us also proud. And sisig, sabi niya, sisig is ready for the world. It's going to be the gateway to Filipino cuisine. That's what he said. That's the last time he talked about Filipino food. And he talked about sisig, right? And maybe those are the foods we should talk about or really promote. Let's not talk about anything too fancy, but something that's really accessible.
Yes.
Baka naman, sisig. Dapat gusto ko tuloy magsisig, di ba?
Oo, yeah. Nene, tama yan. Yan ang natin. And it's that's on trend also. Kasi ito nga yung pinag-usapan namin ni Chef Joe, yung sa Singapore. Siguro dati, you know, we had Madrid Fusion. It's so high, ang taas din eh, to promoting it, etc. But now, we're getting a lot more voices, no? All around the world. Influential voices on Filipino cuisine. And not only from yung mga matatanda, no, even the young. You know, there's this YouTuber na Filipino-American, Kirby Araulio, kapatid yata ni Atom Araulio to, promoting Filipino or the Filipino history. And gano'n, no? So you have that so younger voices also coming over. And I think this is really the right time, no? I think in the post-pandemic world, yan ang campaign talaga natin. Embracing our Filipino food heritage more and more. Yeah.
You know what? That's why today, if you look at my Facebook now, let me see if it's still the #1 post there. I posted a meme, which I posted the first of like a few years ago.
Mm-mm.
And let me just read it to you. Or maybe you can show it later. Here.
Sige, basahin mo na lang. Kasi may mga nakikinig sa podcast.
Happy Independence Day. Okay. Then the meme says, proud of my country. And sorry for those who are disagreeing with me, ashamed of my president. But that's how I feel. And it's really for a lot of people, that's how they feel. But let it not be a reflection of what we feel for the country. Diba? Regardless, politics is politics. And that's why the Constitution states, if it doesn't work out, if we disagree, we can change them every 6 years. And that's when they framed the 1986 Constitution. They didn't even want a re-election for 4 years for another 4 years. They said you've got 6 years to make it all happen, right? So 6 years, but here's the thing with 6 years. 6 years is enough time to really build a stronger country, right? Maybe not enough,
Yes, oo.
but it's also more than enough time to destroy institutions. So later on, guys, for the young lawyers out there, the future politicians, the people who will take over the country, the Gen Z, the millennials, kayo yan. Maybe you should think about this, right? So maybe it should be 4 years again. Kasi nung 1986, paraning yung mga tao yun. After 21 years of Marcos and the dictatorship, they said, ayun na, hindi na pwede mag-re-election, di ba? So 6 years lang. But maybe we should look back and rethink that. I'd like to go back to maybe 2 4-year terms maximum. And then with the caveat that your relatives cannot run for at least another 8 years. Give other people a chance. Sabi nga ni Vico Soto yan. Si Vico mismo nagsabi. Coming from political family. Sabi niya, bakit hindi naman kailangan isang pamilya lang ang magaling, di ba?
Oo.
So give people a chance. So that's what I would like to see. So it's either the anti-dynasty provision or it's like the NBA, don't tamper with the spirit of the Constitution. Diba? So kung ikaw presidente ka ng 8 years, 2 terms, wala munang pwedeng kamag-anak mo ang tumakbo for at least 2 terms. It's a dream. It might be an impossible dream, but it is a good idea. Right? So you prevent the dynasties. You prevent all of these nepotism that's happening right now. Oh, SINO is saying that our survey was defective. Yeah, it's probably defective, which is a very random survey monkey. We just did it on the fly. So it's probably defective, but we just wanted to get the spirit. We just wanted to get a hint of how people were thinking. Yeah, we apologize for that. It's not but it's probably as accurate as Pulse Asia because I don't believe Pulse Asia surveys.
Anyway, so let's reveal na. So of course for president.
Hindi, unahin mo may sumugod ba na senator? Sinong gusto mo?
Senators muna. Sige.
Oh, last na si president para may konting suspense. Sino mang senador?
Okay, sa ang leading is of course si Panfilo Lacson.
Yeah. What? Really?
Sa survey natin.
Oh my God.
Of course, if Isko Moreno would go to Senate, be a senator, mananalo rin siya.
Top 6 sila?
Top 6 daw. And then the other one is Antique Loren Legarda, Erwin Tulfo. Yeah, of course, Erwin Tulfo.
Ito lang, I'm not a fan. But if Erwin Tulfo runs for freaking say, he's gonna be number 1 or number 2.
Erwin Tulfo and then Amy Marcos. So yun yung mga
Sige, so no, I'm glad about those results because there's balance. Kasi ang kala ko mangyayari because of the Facebook bubble. We just talked about all of this a few hours ago on Facebook. And the algorithms will only dictate or throw us our inquiries to certain people. But to have Tulfo there and Amy Marcos says a lot because a lot of the people who are respondents are our friends, people we know who are in our Facebook feeds, who follow us. So I guess there's balance. It's either there's balance or these two are just so freaking popular. And I'm sorry to say that scares the shit out of me, man.
Mukhang naman yan. Hindi, pero mukhang pag tumakbo yun, panalo yun.
Sigurado yun. Kung, in a very small scale survey, limited sample size. But yeah, let me just say this. If Tulfo runs, sino ba yung sikat na Tulfo? Erwin? Hindi, it's not Erwin, is it? It's
Hindi.
Rafi.
Si Rafi. Pwede.
Sino pinakasikat na Tulfo?
Alam mo, yung Tulfo na yan, basta Tulfo lang na, alam mo naman yung sa balota minsan eh. Basta,
okay.
Kahit sino sa kanila tumakbo.
Yeah, basta you put a Tulfo there, one, ang pinakamababang posisyon yung number 3. Sigurado ako dyan. Oh, God.
Okay, next.
Vice President.
Vice President. Siyempre, Okay, ang leading dito, kung si Isko, of course, kung si Isko mag-vice president, panalo siya.
Yeah, I think so.
And pero hindi natin alam kung mag-vice president siya, di ba? And then I think dito sa survey natin, maraming Cheljok no yung lumabas eh. Cheljok.
Mga dilawan yan. Ako, dilawan ako.
Dilawan. Cheljok
Oo.
no. Yan. And then, syempre, lumabas rin si Ramon Ang and Gibo. Diba? Chodoro. So, yun.
What do you think? No, this is fascinating for me because Gibo, remember the late Carlos Celdran, our friend Carlos, diba? We were fighting with I was personally having sniping kami kasi nung 2010, Pinoy ako Noy ako. Siya, Gibo. Magpinsan yan, di ba? So, mainit yung debate namin ni Carlos noon within our pages and between us, And I just feel bad. He might be, I'm sure he feels bad up there. That I don't know where Carlos doesn't really believe in the church either. But Carlos would really be pissed to see. Remember, one of the reasons why Carlos left for Spain was he felt he was being persecuted and hounded and targeted and being slandered by all of the DDS trolls, right? And now to have his knight Gibo in 2010 to say out loud and declare that I'm for Sara Duterte, and now he's coming up with press releases left and right that she's going to be the great leader, the great unifier, mother of dragons, whatever shit that Sara Duterte is.
Mother of dragons. Okay.
That's what Giboy is saying on his Facebook page, right? I'm sure Carlos, if Carlos were still here, he'd feel bad. Holy shit, Come on. And that's why, ito talaga, yung politics is such a, parang, there's nothing permanent in politics. But I'm just very disappointed with Gibo. Kasi ako, pare, kung tumakbo si Gibo ang senador, or even vice president, but not with Sara Duterte, I'd vote for him. No look. Yung iniisip ko nga a few months ago, kung tumakbo si Ramon Ang, presidente ko si Ramon ang vice president si Gibo, wow, para pa may San Miguel connection, pare, the best to, di ba?
Ayos, di ba?
Di ba? And you know how San Miguel is the backbone of our nation building right now. It really is the backbone, di ba? So, but then, I don't know, politics is crazy, man. That's why, I was supposed to be a politics. You know this, dapat politiko na sa Pampanga. I'm really so glad I didn't enter politics. It's so fucking sickening sometimes.
But anyway, excited ako for the elections. I'll share it later. So let's finish the president. Of course, sa president.
Sino number one sa vice natin?
Hindi marami kasing choices eh. So,
but ang top 3 mo sa vice, si Isko.
Si Isko, si Cheljok, no? Tapos yung isa, halo-halo na. Gibo, yun.
Yeah, Gibo is very strong. Yeah. Oo.
So, okay, let's go to the president. Sa president, face-off talaga. Para talagang Game of Thrones, di ba?
No way!
Sara Duterte versus Leni Robredo.
Sino talaga yung nag-top 2?
Hindi, syempre yung group natin na puro dilawan yung mga network natin. So, si Leni number 1 eh.
But Sara was there.
Sara was there. And mukhang ang dito sa ating survey is parang Leni Robredo, Cheljok no versus Sara Duterte and Gibo, di ba?
Holy shit. Well, at least it's not Bongbong Marcos running for president.
Ne, pero eto nga, the reason I'm excited and the reason I wanted to really participate and campaign also, I mean, to help in the 2022. The 2022 kasi, we can maybe have a few presidentiables, di ba? So, mahahati-hati lahat ng mga votes, no?
Bongbong Marcos. We usually have 6 candidates.
Bongbong Marcos could run, Manny Pacquiao could run. Just imagine, I mean, Leni Robredo would run. So, and they'll have their own forces and pwede maghati-hati yung mga votes, no? But the one of the main reason I'm hopeful then is this year is the 500th year anniversary of the church, diba? Founding of the church. On June 24, we will now have Manila Archbishop, diba? Archbishop Advincula, and
From
who will
Antique.
be
From Antique.
who will be installed in June 24. And
Yeah.
remember, once the church gets into politics, in a sense, and nakikita mo na some of the teaching, parang, we need to help out, in this. And let's see. I mean, at least we have a new archbishop na kasi matagal rin yan di ba?
Let me just say, in relation to what you're saying, because my weekly mass, like tomorrow, the mass I hear online is the Manila Cathedral Mass. And for the past month or so, maybe the past 2 months, I won't say naman it's a direct attack, but the hints are very strong about what they want to happen. And this is the archdiocese. This is the cathedral. And the last time this happened was way back in 1986 when Cardinal Sin was the cardinal was the leader of the Catholic Church in the Philippines. So let's see. One of the things I'm curious about is to what extent does the Catholic Church have on its flock? Meron pa ba?
Yes.
Or
okay, hindi ganito the data shows they're the biggest influence, no? Especially Quiapo Church. The Quiapo Church is trending. Pare. So, I mean, nag-change kasi dati kung Quiapo ka lang nagsisimba sa Quiapo. Ngayon, yung nagsisimba sa Quiapo, pare, ang mas sa Quiapo, oras-oras. Nagte-trending na sila sa social media. One time, nagse-celebrate yung... kasi magaling rin yung social media, digital marketing ng ng
Quiapo yes. Oh, yes. Diba? Manila Cathedral and Quiapo are the best. Oh.
So that's why I'm so excited. Kasi nagkaroon talaga renewed influence. Now, in the book of Attorney Lacson, yung 500 years na bagong book niya, criticize niya yung church kasi after 500 years, we still have a corrupt government. No? At least yun yung nandun sa novel sa book. No? And maybe this is a call and pwede namang maayos yan And you can see the signs also. Of course, it depends on the newly installed Manila Archbishop Advincula on June 24 sa araw ng Maynila. So let's see. I mean, I'm excited kasi the church has Quiapo Church particularly and Manila Cathedral are influencers now.
And let me just say this has never happened before. Maybe this is how the weird way that Providence works.
Yes.
Because more people are hearing mass now than ever before. More and more people who never went to mass weekly are hearing mass every week because they're scared of the freaking pandemic. And at the same time, they're hearing more and more online masses now. And like ako, the three churches I listen to, which St. Peter and Paul Parish, Monsignor Jerry Santos, then Father Cali and Father Reggie in the Manila Cathedral, and of course, Quiapo. Pag pumunta ka sa Catholic household, ang malamang marinig ng misa is Quiapo or Manila Cathedral. And they're the most vocal. So yeah, this is really a fascinating point for me as a lover of politics and as a believer in faith and the system of the governance of the Philippines. It's fascinating for me the trump card, the joker's wild of this election might be the church again.
Yes. Di ba?
Wow.
I mean, that's why I'm excited. Biruin mo, if the youth would vote, the church would get their act together and then yung mga magkakampi ng Duterte mahati yung votes nila, no? Assuming Bongbong Marcos runs, Manny Pacquiao runs. I mean, would be really an interesting elections, don't you think?
Yeah. Thank you for that perspective. I've been hearing it, but I've never put one and one together or two and two together. But now, more and more, the X factor here, the variable, it's really the Catholic Church now. And it's also a litmus test on the influence of the Catholic Church now, the pandemic years, versus how influential they were 3 years or 10 years ago. So wow, this is
Oo, di
amazing for me.
ba? Ang galing nga eh. Kasi like kami, hindi naman kami Quiapo goers kasi ang layo sa amin. But
Mm.
ngayon, lahat na yata tao Quiapo goers eh.
They are. I can tell you that's true. Yeah.
Oo. Kasi nga, like for example, may mga friend kami, yung they go to the feast, no? Yung kay Bo Sanchez. But during
Yeah.
the pandemic, dahil wala nang mga priest na, ang hirap kasi ng priest, so nawala yung mga the feast. Alam mo saan sila pumunta? Quiapo Church. So, I mean, that's really just so exciting. And parang gusto ko nang namnamin every week or every day what's happening because this is really a history in the making. Whatever
true.
happens, no, whatever happens in the election, but of course, what also I like it, kasi last year puro pandemic ang pinag-usapan na. Ngayon hindi na mga hope, innovation, new leadership, etc. Di ba?
And then, Anton, naman, the number one favorite sport, the number one favorite topic of every Filipino is politics. And we're now entering that stage in our political cycle where in the next 11 months, especially as we heat up towards October, November, December, leading up to May next year, wala tayong ibang pag-uusapan. That's going to be the topic on everyone's mind. And this is going to be very, very critical because a lot of people are still supporting the current dispensation, but I think there really is now a silent majority. There might be, I'm not sure, but for those people, my friends especially who were in the silent majority before, will you please speak up already? Kasi alam mo, huwag na kayong takot masyado, di ba?
I think the call nga is all the influencers, you need to have a point of view. You have to take sides. I mean, you have to campaign for somebody. This is the time to do it. Kasi nga, ang lalaki na mga voices, di ba? You have the youth, you have the church. If you get the social influencers to say their piece and not be silent, I think, yan. Ganda ng elections natin next year.
And I have to say, yeah, wag kayong, there's a like I just mentioned this earlier, there's a special place in hell for fence sitters. Hindi man mabangka kayo sa dalawang ilog, you will wait who wins and then doon kayo kakampit. The fate of our nation is really going to be decided in the next election. And I'm not kidding about this kasi you know how the world is turning now. The world is going to leaning towards the right. Daming authoritarians ngayon all over, including Europe. But we've always been the leading light, the shining light of faith and democracy in Asia. We've always been that. Let's not lose that. But we're on the verge of turning to the right. We are. But we've always been the democratic capital of Asia. So let's not.
Yeah.
Kasi if we fall, then the rest falls. So let's see. Yeah. It's very exciting though. It's very exciting. And I think one of the issues that really would affect the current administration, not only this health, fiasco, but I think the China issue, diba? So that's why kaya actually ang ganda, and I think this is how we should end our Independence Day episode, diba? Yeah.
Hope for freedom in everything, in the culinary space, in Filipino getting recognized, and maybe hope for our new government. We saw how a change of government in the US changed everything, halos overnight. So we have our chance. Yeah. We have our chance, di ba?
So let's not blow it, So let's siguro for me, my personal appeal and my personal prayer is this: let's not use our emotions this time. Let's use more of our intellect. Let's focus our decisions on empirical data, what we've seen the past 5-6 years, and let's base it on that plus what we want to happen in the next 6, 12, 18 years. So that's it. So just do the math. Don't say na gusto ko yan kasi hinalikan niya yung watawat. Gusto ko yan dahil he reminds me of my gruff uncle. That's ridiculous, guys. And that's why many people voted for the current president. But you know what can happen, di ba? So let's vote for someone who deserves to run the country. Let's vote for someone that we deserve. Right? So yun lang. Whatever your political affiliation, whatever you decide, whether you love Leni Robredo or whether you are a fan of Sara Duterte, the Marcoses, Gibo, or even the Tulfos, when you make your decision, it should be for the benefit of the country and not just because you like them or you like them on the radio or you like them on TV. Be smart about this. This is really because we've had so many chances. We keep on blowing our chances, man.
Yeah. Oh, but I can feel it. This is this is our time. This is the time. And
kasi pare, twice na ako nag-EDSA. Ayoko na mag-EDSA third time. Sakit na tuhod ko.
To? No, EDSA 3 online to. EDSA 3 online. Oh.
Game. So sa mga kabatch ko kabatch namin yan to na nag-EDSA ganyan. Huwag na kayong duwag, ha?
And then, I think if everybody lang can say their piece, di ba? Kasi last election, it was all silent. Whether you're for Duterte, whether you're for Lenny, okay lang. I mean, but you say your piece, di ba?
Yeah.
Kasi that's very important.
Yeah, so don't be, huwag kayong duwag. Nilang. Use your brain, right? But have your balls also.
Yes.
Kailangan yan. Makita yan. Kasi, pare, we're fighting for our future eh. Ganun yun di ba?
Oo. We're fighting for our kids.
Hindi. Kasi exactly.
And
Tapos,
I think,
So, you saw what happened 5 years ago when you were all quiet and just standing by entertained, because, I have a good life, right? But you have to think more about your own personal good life. You have to think about the whole country, right? See, all of you, you voted for Duterte, we're fucked up. Diba? Nagpaparinig ako sa mga tao dati. Ano ba yan? But all of my friends who were very close friends who were Dutertards. Natawag sa I hate you si Duterte, but they were. And what irritated me more than anything else, ayaw nila sabihin sa public, pero pag in private, ang dami nila sinasabi. Why? What are you afraid of? Persecution? You're the majority. But if you believe in something, if you really are a patriot, if you're really a nationalistic person, you have to say something. Yes. Whether or not you're for Duterte, whether or not you're for Obredo, whoever it is, you have to say something.
Yes. Yeah. And I think, ako rin nga, in the past, hindi ako masyadong vocal, but I think this time around, our country really needs it, no? And let's see how it will go. But I'm just so excited lang talaga. I'm so excited. Parang everything's happening. Everything's happening.
Ano ba vaccine mo? Sinovac?
Sinovac.
Sinovac ka, di ba? Yan ang effect ng Sinovac. Kaya kung gusto niyong maging masaya, maging optimistic, magkaroon ng hope, magpa-vaccine kayo. Diba? Ano si Anton? Saya-saya ngayong gabi.
Tingnan mo yung mom ko. Parang wow. Parang first dose pa lang nga parang tapos na yung pandemic.
Yeah. So it's a very good Independence Day chat, brother. Kasi I didn't realize it was all going to end up in this. That is all about pag-asa, kinabukasan. Yun naman Kaya nga tayo nagkaroon ng Independence Day. Pinaglaban tayo ng mga ninuno natin, di ba? Pinatay si Rizal, pinatay si Bonifacio. Diba? Lahat sila, ang dami namatay. Pati si Maria Orosa died during the war because they were fighting for us. So let's not mess it up anymore. Nakakahiya na.
All right. Thank you, brother, and thank you for all joining the live stream, watching on the replay, and especially listening to Manila Podcast.
Yeah. So next week we'll try to get Undocs on board.
Sige. We'll reach out. All right.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you for listening, guys.
Live an awesome life in Christ.